Well, today French teachers are holding a massive strike over the government's COVID response. About a third of elementary teachers nationwide are taking part, and about half of elementary schools across the country are closed. Teachers say they're fed up with the constantly changing rules over COVID testing for students. Now, France recently eased its testing requirements for students who've had a positive case in their class. Well, CNN's Melissa Bell is in Paris and joins us now for more on this. And Melissa, I understand about 75% of French elementary teachers are taking part in this strike, but also a majority of high school and middle school teachers have joined them.
That's right. The government figures, the education ministry figures are slightly lower than that. There is a discrepancy between the unions are saying and the government saying in terms of the actual number of people on strike. But yes, a great deal of unhappiness within teaching unions, a great deal of unhappiness within teaching staff. And it isn't simply that they've gone on strike with so many schools closed as a result. It is also that they've taken to the streets in pretty big numbers to make plain their displeasure. Now, what they object to, and you're quite right to highlight it, is not just the nature of the rules themselves that have been changed in a way that will make it easier for classrooms to stay open and for kids to stay in school, but also the fact that they say they weren't consulted, they learned about it from the media, and also making clear in their various press releases that these grievances predate even COVID, that they had a fair amount of disgruntlement within their ranks over the way they'd been treated, cuts made to budgets and so on, that was historic and that preceded this whole crisis. That has simply been made worse by what they say is the mismanagement of the COVID protocols within schools. Now, they were changed only on Monday in order to make it easier, as I say, for children to stay in school, because in the end, what's happening, Linda, is with the Omicron variant being as contagious as it is and the peak still ahead in France, authorities are really trying to find ways of living with it without having to shut down the economy for what would be another catastrophic bout of lockdown. So measures that will allow kids to stay in school, measures that will allow the economy to stay open, but with a lot of people at the front line of that, pretty unhappy about the way it's being done, Linda.
Yeah, exactly. But I did find it quite surprising, I have to say, Melissa. I was watching these strikes in Paris earlier today, and obviously most people are protesting the fact that they feel that schools aren't safe, that they're more exposed to the virus at school. But looking at the images of the protesters, there were a lot that were either not wearing their masks or certainly not wearing them properly.
That's right, and you'll have noticed the same thing if you look at those protests from last Saturday when people had also taken to the streets against government COVID measures and their push to get vaccines done. Of course, at the moment, it's a pretty risky thing to do, to head out into the streets and into large crowds without masks, especially here in Paris. In the wider Parisian region, Linda, the incidence rate is nearly 3,000 per 100,000 people. That is astonishingly high when you consider previous waves and the incidence rates that we used to see then. Getting to sort of 500 seemed in the first and second wave points at which the government started to panic and lockdown measures were taken. And again, it is because of that contagiousness. It is because it is so virulent that we're seeing these extraordinary numbers, that we're seeing people get infected, that we still have the peak ahead, and that the government's desperately trying to find ways of allowing people to keep living with that, Linda.
Yeah, exactly. Melissa Bell, good to have you with us today from Paris. Thanks so much. Well, stay with us on CNN. Outrage on the pitch in an African Cup of Nations match. We doubt you've seen anything like this before. We'll tell you why a referee may need to invest in a new watch.